I feel like this week is just going to be Stranger Things all week for me because there's a ton of videos, there's a ton of stuff I want to talk about, and it's sort of already spawned a new series I want to start. I'll talk more about that tomorrow, so stay tuned because I might put it as a podcast in itself as well. So, very much so, would love to ask for each and every one of you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, check out the other videos I already did on the ending, my Nancy and Eddie theory, and just everything else I've done as well. Follow me on social media. Let's get into this. So, Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2 on the way next month. So, in a month exactly, we will be getting Volume 2. And I wanted to take the chance to go ahead and say, best season so far besides Season 1. I think everything they're showing this season is very much so top notch. I was kind of criticizing for a moment how much they spent on it, but now I see it. Every episode feels like a legit movie. So now we're here and wondering, where exactly do we go? What else are we going to explore? How is this resolution going to come? I have something to tell you. One more season is still on the way, so I don't think everything's going to be resolved in the next two episodes. Even though the next two episodes are insanely long, over 2 hours, I don't think we're going to get all the resolutions you're expecting. So, first and foremost, where are we and where do we go? So when we left off everybody seemed to be in such a predicament, right? We have now the whole story unraveled of who Vecna really is. I made a video talking about Vecna. You can check it out as well for more of the detailed version. But here's a quick rundown. Vecna pretty much became Vecna after he was Henry Creel first, Victor Creel's son, who for the most part we were led to believe was part of the homicides we saw, and that this happened because of Victor Creel and all of that. We find out later on, though, that that is not the case. It was actually Henry Creel responsible for all of this, and he couldn't actually take out his own dad because he had lost like power and passed out, went into a coma. And so Victor Creel still got in trouble for everything, and it was made to believe that Henry Creel had been killed as well, but he was actually in a coma and then was later taken by Dr. Bradner Papa, and now we have him as Peter, who we saw was the one who was sort of the one like taking everybody from the people in the lab with Brenner and everything, helping the kids and all of that tap their potential and powers, but eventually turning evil as he made 11 using his powers, eventually killing all of them there. And so now we have Peter, who is trying to recruit 11 for whatever his whole case is, because in his eyes humans are peasants and he's above them, so he wants to be a ruler of sorts. Of course, Eleven's not down with this, and she opens the portal that sends him into the Upside Down, and him being here is what causes him to turn into the monster Vecna. So now that this is all out in the open, 11 knows this as well, Nancy and just everybody's knowing that this is number one because that was his number, and now we're going to get a showdown between number 1 and 11, and I think that this is going to really like explode in season 4 volume 2, because I think what we're going to see is during this whole fight and everything, I think the Upside Down's really going to come into our world and it's going to create havoc as well. And I think this is going to create the whole thing where we see that there is no other way but for the whole Upside Down to be destroyed. And I think that we're going to see a sacrifice of sorts need to happen for that to be like our resolution, right? So we'll talk about that in a bit, but first we also have to talk about what's happening between Nancy and her whole thing with Vecna right now. As we know, she seems to be the next one that has fallen into the Vecna curse of sorts, and now she needs a way out. I think Vecna is really trying to use Nancy's guilt and all of her trauma with everything that happened with Barbara, as well as what's going on with Jonathan, these bad feelings and everything, in order to get to her. As we know, that's something that Vecna uses to feed on and to ultimately get his prey that he goes after. But one of the questions we all have is, if we see Nance in this situation in the Upside Down, how is this going to work with having to bring her back if she's already there and under the curse? Do they have to bring the music to her, and will that work? Or is there something more they have to do? And as we know, we're going to about to see something happen here, because I think, as we see in one of the trailers for the season, which we haven't seen the scene play out yet, Eddie is in fact playing a guitar. And I think that this guitar is here because Eddie realizes that they're going to have to play music in order to get Nance out. One thing to remember also as well is that Robin has looked through Nancy's stuff and has seen some of her records, tapes, whatever. So she knows what exactly they need to do, what song, what artist, all of that. And if Eddie can play it, and we're going to have Steve, I'm pretty sure, singing this song. And I think this is what's going to bring back Steve and Nance, as we've been sort of getting this tease at that they might become a thing again. And we're all rooting for Steve, right? Because I'm a Steve fan, number one. That's my favorite character in Stranger Things. And I would love to see him get some resolution by the end of it all. But we'll see what happens, right? So I think that's something we're going to see right there in order to bring her back as well. Now, we got the whole thing with Hopper and also Murray and Joyce and everything being on the other side of things. And I think that we're going to have to see them stay there a little bit longer. I don't think we're going to get this reunion that everybody's hoping for with Hopper and Joyce and all of them. I think Russia is becoming such a big thing now that it's going to lead into what comes next for season 5. And I think in season 5, we're going to see all of these creatures that are being absorbed or all of that be sort of released. And I think they have something else up their sleeve that they're not showing yet. I'm pretty sure there's some experimentation and all of that going on. So we might see something we don't even know about at all, and nobody knows either, that has been created with the Upside Down and whatever else they're having there. Because in the promo for the next volume, in the teaser, we see the Mind Flayer, a Demogorgon, all of that being trapped. So there's a lot of shit going on here that we're not being let on. And I think we're about to find out that it ain't good. And like I said, do you really think in those 4 hours we're going to get a resolution to everything, like saving Nance? Then we have the showdown, then we have the Russia stuff and all of that. I'm telling you, this is going to bleed into season 5, and I'm here for it all because I think that this is definitely going to be such a great season finale, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be something huge going on here. So what do I expect? So as I was talking about in the beginning, I'm expecting a huge battle between Vecna and 11. And I think that 11's going to realize that the only way to stop all of this right now is for her to destroy the Upside Down. But I don't think she wants to put anybody's like life or anything in danger. She talks a lot about wanting to be the superhero again, be that hero, all of that. And I think, as we know, a lot of great heroes ultimately do end up sacrificing themselves. And I think we're going to see something along the lines of her having to sacrifice herself to shut this door, to shut this gate, whatever it is, and take Vecna down. That's the only way. And I think that this is going to be something we see at the end of this season, and we won't get a resolution as to how she will be saved or any of that until the next season. But in the meantime, while all of this happens, also, I think we will see whatever monsters or anything that they have in Russia escape and sort of become a huge problem. So they're going to need 11 as well. And I think we're going to see something where they are pretty much untapped into the Upside Down and all of that. And they're trying to get to that. And then they are also like trying to figure out if they can even save 11. So that's what I think is going to happen to leave us off on a huge cliffhanger, especially for a final season. I think we need something like that, and especially to get the people back and everything. I know that the next season is going to be bigger than this, so I really feel that we are definitely getting something along the lines of a couple of people not really making it towards the end and just being left with an ambiguous like ending as to what exactly is going on and who's going to survive and who's not. So definitely open for it all. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions on it as well. What do you think is going to happen? These are just some of the theories and predictions I have as well for that. So let me know yours down in the comments below. Very excited to know as well. But anyways, as always, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers, closing in on 22, less than 900 to go. So super excited for that. Let's try to get to that. And I had a ton more videos to talk about Stranger Things because there's like a ton of little theories here and there, little stuff I caught. And as well, as I said at the beginning, it has inspired me to make a little series on something. So stay tuned for that tomorrow for an announcement on that. But anyways, as always, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you follow me on the social medias as well, Culture Elixir. Check out the other Stranger Things videos I've talked about as well, like the ending explained, Vecna, also the Eddie and Nancy theory, more in depth, and also a couple more videos coming. I'm telling you, it's Stranger Things week, and we're going to be talking about it probably all month. But I also talk about other stuff like my Top Gun Maverick review is out as well if you haven't catched that movie already. Also, make sure you check out the other videos I've done on other TV shows such as Atlanta. We're covering Obi-Wan Kenobi. We have a new episode today. Check out that. I already did an Annie Explained on the first 3 episodes also, so make sure you check them out. But as always, that's going to do it for me. As I said, make sure you're subscribed, notification bell on. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.